Namaste, Angel. This is the daily reading for Tuesday, April 24th. And on this day, Venus enters Gemini, which she rules. She is the esoteric ruler of Gemini. This occurs at 12:40 p.m. in the afternoon. A little bit about what Venus in Gemini is about. Venus in Gemini people, which I am one, will try to win over the object of their affection with witty conversation, displaying just how much they quote unquote know and demonstrating their diverse interests. These lovers are playful. Some might even call them a tease. They are hard to pin down and they resist relationships that promise to become too quote unquote comfortable. Even those with their sun in Taurus or Cancer, whose outward demeanor may suggest that they're somewhat reserved and cautious, will want their relationship to be stimulating and full of conversation with Venus in Gemini. Venus in Gemini men and women don't want to be tied or bogged down with their relationships. They appreciate lightheartedness in love. And although they are willing to talk, perhaps endlessly, about the relationship, you may get the feeling that they gloss over some of the deeper issues. In love, their tastes change often, and it can be hard to know what to expect one day to the next, or sometimes from 1 hour to the next. Pleasing Venus in Gemini involves supporting their need for fun and variety, showing interest in their brain power and knowledge, and giving them space for friends and activities outside of the relationship. Let them know just how much fun you have with them. Try not to get overly miffed by Venus and Gemini's changeable, fickle ways. Remember that time spent with your lover will be exciting and invigorating. It says, my personal bio. I am fun-loving. My ideal date consists of going to a cafe, talking in a movie, and talking about it. This is the author of this little blog. Venus and Gemini sometimes get involved in relationships solely out of curiosity. They are intellectually curious about people and are eternally fascinated by social interactions. Although they usually enjoy flirting, they may remain somewhat aloof when it comes to matters of the heart. Curiosity motivates them on romantic and social levels. Quote, variety is the spice of life, end quote, is their attitude in love, in social relationships, and with personal possessions. They are sociable, communicative, and interested. They can be animated and fun, but may also keep their distance on an emotional level. Attractions often begin with words, as they tend to bond more readily on a mental level. The shadow side of Venus in Gemini is fickleness. Venus and Gemini people spend money on books, information, social events. They are somewhat fickle when it comes to their attachment to objects and personal possessions. I don't know what that's about. We don't even care. Geminis don't even care about, maybe it depends if your sun is in Gemini too. I don't know. Because I was going to say Geminis don't even care much about material things. They seek variety in the things that they own. Some enjoy the thought that they can go behind making purchases, weighing various options. They are attracted to art that is expressive, verbal and social in tone, light and happy. And this is from Cafe Astrology, natal/Venus in signs. In addition to that, the significant events on this day in history, beginning with the year 1479 BC, Thutmose III ascends to the throne of Egypt, although power effectively shifts to Hatshepsut, according to I'm tongue-tied today, chronology of the 18th dynasty. Yeah, I hope that made sense once I finally got it out. 1184 BC, the Greeks enter Troy using the Trojan horse. This is the traditional date on which it's celebrated. 1877, Russo-Turkish War of 1877 through 78. Russia declares war on the Ottoman Empire. 1898, the Spanish-American War. Spain declares war after rejecting U.S. ultimatum to withdraw from Cuba. 1916, Easter Rising of Irish Republicans against British occupation begins in Dublin. 1967, Vietnam War. American General William Westmoreland says in a news conference that the enemy had gained support in the United States that gives him hope that he can win politically that which he cannot win militarily. Did you know Boston Newsletter the first successful newspaper in the U.S., forms on April 24th in the year 1704. Famous birthdays: Shirley MacLaine, Barbara Streisand, Sachin Tendulkar, Kelly Clarkson, and Lydia Ko. Would you believe Mr. and Mrs. Jacob Murdoch become the first to travel across the U.S. by car? They leave L.A. in a Packard and arrive in New York City in the 32nd day, 5th hour, and 25th minute on April 24th in the year 1908, which is 99. Famous weddings. In the year 1558 or 613, Queen Mary Stuart, listen to the date and the name, of Scotland. She marries the French Crown Prince, Francois. 1575, William the Silent of Orange marries his third wife, Charlotte de Bourbon, and former French nun. 1854, another 99, Austria's Franz Joseph I marries Elizabeth A.E. Sissy. 1874, 9/11 or 11, outlaw Jesse James marries his cousin, Zerelda Z. Mims. 1963, English Princess Alexandria marries Sir Angus Ogilvy at Westminster Abbey. Famous divorces, 2007, recording artist and the most awarded female act of all time, Whitney Houston, who was 43, divorces R&B singer-songwriter Bobby Brown, who was 38, due to irreconcilable differences after 14 years of marriage. She was, 6 years, 5 years, it looks like, his senior. Famous deaths, Daniel Defoe, Lucy Maud Montgomery, Wallace Simpson, and Estee Lauder. Estee Lauder was American. Her real name was Josephine Esther Mincer. Her profession was cosmetics company founder, and that's why she's famous. She founded Estee Lauder Companies. She was born on July 1st in 1906 and was a Cancer from Queens, New York, USA. She died on April 24th in 2004 at the age of 97 of cardiopulmonary arrest. Wallace Simpson. Something crazy just happened here. Wallace Simpson, let's try this again, whose real name was Bessie Wallace Warford, was American and the Duchess of Windsor, a double divorcee who caused King Edward VIII to abdicate in order to marry her. Born on June 19th in the year 1896. June 19th is what they call Juneteenth, the day in history also that Texas finally woke up to the fact that slavery had ended and released their slaves. They had been released everywhere else already, or at least officially. And anyway, this woman who was born on that day, June 19th, was a Gemini from Blue Ridge Summit, Pennsylvania. She died on April 24th in 1986 at the age of 89. Lucy Maud Montgomery was Canadian and an author. She's best known for a series of novels beginning with Anne of Green Gables. She went on to publish 20 novels as well as 530 short stories, 500 poems, and 30 essays. She was born on November 30th in 1874 and was a Sagittarius from Clifton, Prince Edward Island, Canada. She died on April 24th in 1942 at the age of 67. Daniel Defoe, or Daniel Foe, is how they also have his name written, was English and a novelist. He was most famous for his novel, Robinson Crusoe. He is notable for being one of the earliest proponents of the novel, and he has helped to popularize the form in Britain and is among the founders of the English novel. A prolific and versatile writer, he wrote more than 500 books, pamphlets, and journals on various topics. He was born on September 13th in 1660 and was a Virgo from London, England. He died on April 24th in 1731 at the age of 70. Lydia Ko is having a birthday. She is a golfer from New Zealand, the youngest person to ever win a professional golf tour event and the youngest person to ever win an LPGA tour event. As an amateur, she was top-ranked woman amateur golfer in the world for 130 weeks and never missed a cut in 25 professional tournaments. In August of 2013, she became the only amateur to win 2 LPGA tour events. She was born on April 24th in 1997 and is 20 years old, a Taurus from Seoul, South Korea. Kelly Clarkson is American and a singer. She's famous for A Moment Like This and Miss Independent. She was born on April 24th in 1982 and is 35 years old, a Taurus from Fort Worth, Texas, USA. Sachin Tendulkar is Indian and a cricketer, an Indian cricket prodigy who started his Test career at the age of 16 and went on to be the first cricketer to score 100 international centuries. Tendulkar holds the record for the most runs scored in both one day of internationals and Test cricket. He retired in 2013. Tendulkar was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award, in the year 2103. They must mean 2003, because 2103 didn't come yet. He is the youngest person ever, I guess, to have done this, and the first sports person. He was born on April 24th in 1973 and is 44 years old, a Taurus from Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. Barbra Streisand, Babs, is American and a singer-songwriter and actress, a film producer as well, and a director, having sold over 145 million albums worldwide. Streisand began her recording career in the 1960s before also moving into films, including Funny Girl, for which she won an Oscar for Best Actress, and The Way We Were. She is one of the few people to have won an Oscar, Tony, Emmy, and Grammy Award. She was born on April 24th in 1942 and is 75 years old, a Taurus from Brooklyn, New York, USA. Shirley MacLaine is American and an actress. She's famous for American film, television, and theater. She's a singer, actress, dancer, activist, and author. She was nominated for an Academy Award 5 times before winning the Academy Award for Best Actress in 1983 for her role as Aurora Greenway in the Terms of Endearment movie. She was born on April 24th in 1934 and is 83 years old, a Taurus from Richmond, Virginia. And she was the last of the birthdays. Going to the dice, I am beginning with Party, Stay in Bed, and Forget It. Spirit says email, which may be connected somehow to the planet Uranus and the sign of Aquarius, of course. Party and Weekend Away. I'm going to the cards, beginning with the King of Fire, is motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Maybe a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or Scorpio. Both Aries and Scorpio ruled by Mars, the red planet. The King of Fire, also a representation of the divine masculine in the tarot. And can be anybody, any zodiac, anyone likened to these traits or attributes. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. Opening to the world with Archangel Michael. A job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude. And the path toward enlightenment. The world, for me, the way I read it, and a lot of people say, oh, the world is in your hands, like tarot practitioners. The world is your oyster and all this kind of stuff. No, that's not what it's about. That's the way I read it anyway. The world, first of all, can have something to do with a party of 3, not necessarily romantic, but that's a possibility. It could be a love triangle or something. But it's something that you're being eased out of, like a situation, a circumstance, a relationship that should have ended by now. And it's just being drawn out, like you overstayed your welcome, they've overstayed their welcome, whatever the situation is, a job too long, a relationship too long, a home, living condition too long. And so now the universe is stepping in to help to ease you out of that situation. King of Fire, and it's the 9 of Fire. You may be tired and like you've had enough. You feel like you can't go on anymore, but the universe says you can and tells you not to give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. The 9 of Fire is the energy of perseverance. King of Fire. And the 2 of Fire. Very nice. You've come into your own new partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. The 2 of Fire, from a general standpoint, can be about any kind of partnership in which you enter. Maybe a new friend or an old friend. You reconnect. It can be going into business with somebody else or, starting a project. And as far as divine unions and quote unquote twin flames are concerned, two of fire is a representation of those kinds of unions in the tarot. Opposite the king of fire, obviously this is one half of this union. King of fire. And it's another major arcana card that equals 3. Awakening, or the hanged man in the traditional tarot. The hanged man is about being limbo. Maybe, you know, there's like an air of suspension, as they say. You're not sure what's going to happen next. There's like a pause. Everything stops, and it's good as far as I'm concerned. May have to do with the fact that today, and I believe tomorrow as well, or was it yesterday and today? Whatever it was, Neptune and Venus in transit. Neptune, for me, is connected to the hangman, the energy of the hangman, as is the sign of Pisces, which it rules. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. And the reason is because Neptune can cause you to be dreamy, maybe even foggy, but fantasize and, you know, just have, be making plans and stuff in your head. That can be that energy. So you're giving an opportunity to take a stop and step back and like figure things out, basically. Overall energy is the Emperor. 4 is all about our foundations, organization and logic, structure and discipline, and leadership. The Emperor in the tarot for me represents the planet Mars, again, ruler of Aries and Scorpio. It is about taking control of your own life. You know, when the Emperor shows up upright and in your favor, you know, you're not relinquishing control. You're not letting anybody run you around. It can have something to do with one's parent too, maybe a father specifically, or an authority. Getting one's life together, right? Getting organized, addressing things as it relates to 4. Could be specifically at your home, you know, your foundations and things. Could sometimes have something to do with something legal, since it's an authority. It can be about an authority, rather. Masculine, the queen of fire, confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. Masculine and guided to go after his passions in a confident way. Like, you know, he can't lose. The Queen of Fire, like the king that showed up here before, is a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or a Scorpio, and is a representation of the divine feminine in the tarot, but can be here, this can be the masculine's energy too. This can apply also to any zodiac sign, any zodiac sign, any gender, likened to these traits or attributes, and maybe with a bunch of fire in your chart or something. Surrounding the masculine is the 10 of air, the end of a difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Somebody may even be recovering from addiction. So any kind of codependency on any person, place, or thing, which may be what caused you to stay in a situation or relationship or whatever it was too long, can be codependency. And that can be what's coming to an end. You do have to expect, like, I'm done with this. It's not going to continue to happen. You got to look forward to better times. It can also be connected to addiction, in the sense that we think of, like, you know, normally like a substance abuse type of situation or something like that. It can be that too, but not necessarily. It can be a combination of a few things as well. At the root, nice, a new start. It's the Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement. Change your life now. This Emperor can be somebody's boss, or it can be somebody going into business for themselves, maybe the divine masculine. When I pick this up, there's something else that's going to, whatever it is, it's not only is it a new opportunity and it's something about which you're passionate, but you're going to be happy that this negative time is over, and it's going to make you emotionally happy. And it may involve a Pisces or other water sign, Cancer, Scorpio. The Page of Water is intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Also, there are heightened psychic abilities. Feminine, the 7 of fire. Defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely. Don't let anybody change your mind for you or talk you out of what it is you want. You know, you're in control of your own life. You're at the reins. Surrounding the feminine, it's the 8 of earth. Skilled work is rewarded. We'll maybe learning all there is to know about a topic and possibly even going back to school. We don't physically have to be going back to school, although we can be, or taking up some sort of vocation. We absolutely may be. But this can be like the school of life, school of experience, school of hard knocks. You know, experience is the best teacher, they say. In the feminine subconscious, it's the 10 of water, a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. You have trustworthy relationships. This can be about socializing, spending time with friends, family. Crowning, it's that 3 again. Awakening, or the hanged man. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So like when you look at things and you're thinking about things and you're taking that time, that, you know, that break in order to fantasize and figure out what it is you want. When it says it's important to be yourself, it means you got to be honest with you in that moment. Like, what do I really want? Now is not the time for me to like fake the funk, because soon time is going to pick back up again. It's like at a pause. Time has stopped for a little while for me to look around and look at things from all the angles and think, am I being ridiculous? Am I being, overly conservative? Am I being overly liberal, giving too much of myself, or of spending too much money, hoarding too much money, hoarding too much of myself, my love, my emotions, and if so, like, where do I want to dole them out, or with whom, or where do I want to put my energy? You got an opportunity to think about all that. So you got to be honest with yourself about what the answer to that is. At the root, I said this represents the sign of Pisces and the planet Neptune. For me, so does this. It's not a court card in the tarot under normal practice. It's court cards that tend to represent people, but I don't care. Like I said about the traditional practitioners, I got a lot of stuff that's different for me. And the 7 of water is also a representation of the planet Neptune and the sign of Pisces for me, because it's that foggy, dreamy. I got a whole bunch of options here. Which one am I gonna pick? So just as I was just explaining and talking about, sure enough, boom, here's the 7 of water. A complex decision. The need to do research. Stop procrastinating. You're researching what you want, toward the end of what it is I choose, what goals am I setting, all that sort of thing. At the heart of the matter today, the 9 of air next to the 10, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. When you're being dreamy, if you're dreaming about negativity being manifested into your life, it will be. Does not have to be, though. If you look at the exterior here, the perimeter is about bad things coming to an end, having the confidence and the wherewithal to pursue your passions, and being like warm and graceful, right? And a new opportunity, like sort of gifted from the heavens for the feminine, that warrior spirit, to stand your ground and not let anybody trample on you. Maybe an opportunity to learn something and to spend time around family. So there really is no need to be expecting the worst or to be manifesting negativity, yet here we are. I'm going to take the next, here's our advice, but I'm going to take the next upright card to see if we can further clarify that 9 and what it may be about for the majority of us. 8 of fire. Maybe we're waiting on communication. We're hoping there's communication. We're hoping that something's going on behind the scenes that we don't know, that things are about to pick up. We're getting impatient about what's, not happening in our lives that we want to happen. Events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over and many things are happening at once. Some of us could be hoping to receive communication. Maybe that email. The 8 of fire can be about communication. Some of us may be trying to get up the gumption, to the oomph to make communication with somebody else. And, if we're thinking, they're not going to pick up the phone, they're not going to answer my email, then they won't. That's the manifesting the negativity. We can also be possibly staying up all night, driving ourselves crazy about it, and now we need some more sleep. Hangman. The Knight of Air. Knight of Air is intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. He's also a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. That Aquarius energy is the energy of electronic communication, the email that showed up in the dice for me. All air signs are about communication. For me, the electronic communication, online dating, all that kind of stuff is connected to Aquarius. This may be someone with the energy of, you know what this is? This is exactly what I said it could be in the beginning. This is Venus and Neptune in their transit, right? Venus, the air, the queen of air, or in this case, the knight of air, and Neptune, the hangman. But I was feeling here also on this plane that it can be somebody on this plane too with both air and water, and maybe specifically Pisces in their chart, with whom you're dealing on this day that's particularly impactful upon you on this day. Ten of air for the masculine. 10 of earth. So he's like hoping for abundance, and it is his turn, and the struggles that he's been experiencing, possibly with money, possibly with an asset. Remember, this is a new opportunity here with the Ace of Fire. He could be going into business. We saw the Two of Fire also. And maybe like all the money that he's needed hasn't come up yet. He hasn't received it yet, and he's nervous. He's waiting on that communication again. He's worried. Something that in which he wants to invest. It doesn't seem like it's going to be possible. And he is at risk of manifesting that negativity. Something comes in quickly with Knight of Air energy, maybe a la Venus. Venus, the planet and goddess of abundance. She can gift you this money. She can gift you this money. She can gift you love, whatever it is you're looking for. If this is attached to something romantic, a new relationship, she can do that too. And it will be worthwhile. It will be like an asset. Last one, 7 of water. Ace of earth. Earth, earth, earth. And then the queen of earth right here. It's disguised as the knight of air because she's also a ruler of Taurus. Venus rules Taurus, Libra, and is the esoteric ruler of Gemini. So again, she is the planet and goddess of abundance. It would be her who could gift us these things. And we got to remain positive that she absolutely will do so and is doing so, although perhaps based on our own karma. 8s. We got 2 8s sitting here next to one another. 8s can be about karma. 8s can also be, about infinite guidance being available. So again, trusting in the universe that things are going behind the scenes, and that if you seek, do some meditation instead of worry, you'll come up with some answers. Further to that, advice for the masculine is the Page of Air. Logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. And it makes perfect sense here. Page of Air, if it's a person in your life, is likely a Gemini, but can also be a Libra or Aquarius, or somebody likened to those traits or attributes, or maybe with a lot of air in their chart or something. Page of Air is logical, honest, impulsive, and curious, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. So remember, I said the masculine in particular worry that this, whatever it is he's looking for, expecting, is not going to come through. Maybe it was delayed. So that can be what the Page of Air shows up to say. Sorry, it's going to take a little longer than you had expected. And maybe that's connected to the air of suspension and the pause between Venus, ruler of Gemini, and Neptune coming into transit. Makes sense. There may actually also be an air sign involved, an actual person, again, impactful upon your life on this day, on this plane, that is involved, and maybe specifically a Gemini. That was the masculine's advice. For the feminine, 3 of air. Great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. What is that about? Something having to do with friends and or family. A decision that we made that they don't like, that we got to stand by, that maybe we don't like, but we had to make it. Maybe connected to some worry or something having to do with family, telling them to stay out of our business, or maybe a lack of communication with somebody. We don't hear from them. We wanted to. Let's take another card for the feminine too. The next one is upright, so this will be it. It's the Three of Fire, 2 3s. Threes, again, can be about a party of three, some third energy that's involved. Not necessarily a love triangle, but it could be that. There could be a feminine here. Hurt over something involving a love triangle or a third energy. Let's do one more since we got another 3. Also, with things otherwise looking positive and being surrounded by all of this earth energy, and again, Venus, this can be, previous loss. Maybe we had some difficulty ourselves with the 7 of Fire. That's the warrior spirit that says, keep going. Maybe we thought we weren't going to be able to keep going or persevere like the 9, because we had some difficulty or some sort of loss. It could be a financial loss, maybe, because the 3 of Fire is about abundance. Could be a love loss still. Abundance comes in all forms. Love can be, included in that. And especially when it's the 3 of Fire, because fire, it's the same thing as the 3 of Wands. And in the tarot, the wands are the most phallic of the elements, fire signs. But let's, like I said, let's take one more for that, since we got 3s, justice. So there could have been some sort of legal situation. Again, maybe there had been a loss and now you're recovering. You're getting your just due. You could have had some sort of falling out with an air sign, maybe specifically a Libra. Venus, again, rules the sign of Libra. It's another 8 too. This can be something else that's connected to our karma, some sort of karmic completion. So we had to allow something to come to an end. We had all those 3s. We had the Hangman. We had the World. And I said that's being eased out of a situation. There could be something like that that's going on. And it's karmic completion. It is justice. This is the way that things had to go down, the way that things had to happen. Again, 8's attached to karma. We got 8, 8, 8. But then after that, look what we got. 10 of Earth, Ace of Earth, 10 of Water. We're happy. So I think just like in the general reading for the week, and perhaps even the love reading for the week, it's like something is lost and then something even better is recovered or started. We got 2 aces sitting here, one right next to the other. So there's new beginnings that are very, very positive for us, even where there is some hurt first. I hope that you guys enjoy the daily reading and that you find it helpful. Namaste, angels.
Won't touch the ground.